Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Luke. This is Take 5 Movie Reviews, and today we're talking about Black Adam. Black Adam is the latest DCEU project starring Dwayne The Rock'Johnson, and it is finally here. Feels like this movie has been in production forever at this point, but it is now in theaters. Let's talk about it. This was one I was excited to see about. I am a huge fan of Shazam, and I'm very excited to see Shazam 2 coming out. And I remember when artist Boss Logic, not Logic the musician, but Boss Logic, released some fan-made images of The Rock as Black Adam. I think that's what sparked the hype, and everyone got excited for it. And let's just go directly into that. The Rock was definitely made for this role. He looks like a superhero. He looks awesome. His powers are pretty cool throughout the film. But was this a good film? Will this help the DCEU? Let's talk about that part. So this is directed by M.A.C.E. I apologize if I mispronounced that. Looked up other films he has directed. Looks like Orphan and Jungle Cruise are in his resume, so I've seen both of those. Other work I haven't really seen, but overall I did enjoy Jungle Cruise. So this also stars Aldous Hodge and Pierce Brosnan, and this film takes place nearly 5,000 years after he was bestowed with the almighty powers of the Egyptian gods and imprisoned just as quickly. Black Adam is freed from his early tomb, ready to unleash his unique form of justice on the modern world. This is from IMDb. So this is a classic origin story. And in that element, kind of helps and doesn't help this film very much. The framework, the blueprint of this movie, we've seen before. We've seen countless times in superhero films, especially over the past decade. Nothing about that really excited me. I think it's a decent origin story and builds good foundation for this character. But the question is where will this go? And some very interesting things happen near the end, and it definitely leaves some questions. But overall, I found this movie to be just fine. I think the first moments we see Black Adam and some of the things done there, especially with the CGI and special effects, were really cool. But what really hurt this for me was the writing and the CGI. This movie goes heavy with slow motion to the point it just becomes annoying. I just, like, near the third act, I was just getting very annoyed with all the slow motion that was going on. I think that was done so much with all the action scenes, because this is a action heavy film, that they took away from more character development. The Black Adam, even throughout the film, is pretty quiet. He doesn't have a lot of dialogue. He's very kind of to himself, very repetitive in what he says, and things just kind of seem missing there. But let's go into some of the other characters, because we do get the Justice Society. So we're getting Dr. Fate, Hawkman, Atom Smasher, and Cyclone. These four characters are pretty cool. I think Hawkman and Dr. Fate were probably the best. They had good chemistry. Atom Smasher and Cyclone are super new, and they're kind of... you definitely see some age differences where these are newer heroes that are kind of going on their first mission. Atom Smasher, in a way, was almost like Deadpool-esque, especially in terms of how he looks. The relationship with Atom Smasher and Cyclone had this Marvel-esque feel to it, and it was fine. Cyclone was kind of cool. Again, you know, especially with these, the slow motion is just super cheesy and overdone. You get a lot of the cheesy one-liners as well. Dr. Fate was pretty awesome. I would hope that we could get a solo film of Dr. Fate and get more around this character. It's one I'm not super familiar with. We also get a bad guy kind of thrown in here, and that was some of the cheesiest moments of the film. I'm not familiar with this villain, and there were moments where, to me, it felt almost Power Rangers, even Aladdin-esque, and it was very over the top. With all of that to say, I was entertained by this. This was an entertaining movie. I enjoyed it to a point. I just think a lot of the elements really brought this down which could have been amazing. And that brings me to where I'm wondering, with the decisions being made in the DCEU right now, was this the right call? You know, they canceled Batgirl. They're canceling all these other things and you know, shuffling things around. If the writing in this wasn't that great, what was the writing like in Batgirl? It had to have been like really terrible if they didn't want to release it. But now it makes me want to watch it even more. So there's one thing I want to talk about as well that's spoilery. So for now, I've struggled with this. Black Adam, I was going to give this a 6 out of 10, but I think I need to go 5 out of 10. I think this movie was just fine. I think if you're a fan of The Rock, you're really going to enjoy this. If you like superhero movies, you'll probably enjoy this, but there was a lot missing within this that I think really just hurt this film. So for me, I'm going to have to go 5 out of 10. Just wasn't for me overall. I don't think I would revisit it a lot. Depending on where the DCEU goes, I may watch this one more time, and I'm sure I'll watch it again just because my rating may change on it. But for now, that's what I'm going to go for. So let me know, did you see Black Adam? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Where do you think the DCEU is going? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I am going to talk about a spoiler now, so if you haven't seen this, go watch it, then come back. So let's get into the spoiler. You've been warned. We do get a mid-credit scene, which features Henry Cavill back as the Man of Steel, Superman. So we get this moment where Black Adam's just by himself. A drone comes in, and we see Waller saying, hey, you broke out of your cell. We get it. We can't really contain you, but we're going to keep our eyes on you. And if it comes down to it, we'll even bring in out of this world beings, which he just kind of replies, send them all. Send everyone you got to me. I'll take care of them. Very Black Adam way to go about it. The drone blows up and there's all this smoke, and we see this being kind of float in, which it could be one of two ways. It could have been Superman. It could also have been Shazam. I may have been more surprised if it was Shazam, but it was pretty cool. But because mentioning out of this world beings, you kind of know who it's going to be. Also, this was spoiled like days before I saw this, so I already knew this going into Black Adam. But we do get to see Superman himself, and basically says, hey, we need to talk. So where is this going to go? There's a lot of talk right now about writing for essentially what would be Man of Steel 2. I'm hopeful that Henry Cavill will continue on being Superman. I really like Man of Steel. I think in the terms of DCEU ranking, that's still like my number one. But where is this really going to go? I'm very curious. We still have Shazam 2 coming out, so I'm curious to see, will we get Man of Steel in that? Will Black Adam show up? There's so much going on in the DCEU right now. I'm very, very intrigued to where all this is going. So would love to know your thoughts. Let me know. Thanks so much again for watching this. I'll be back with more reviews soon. Have a great week.